Don.
I'll fight to the death for this list.
It's the Daily Don Show. He makes lists. Take it away, Donny.
All right, Michael. I try to get it as topical as possible. Yesterday was the one-year anniversary of when the Lightning were swept by the Columbus Blue Jackets. They won the President's Trophy, were clearly the best team in the NHL, and didn't even win a game in the playoffs. So it got me thinking, what about the top 5 wasted New York seasons?
Oh, New York.
So
5 wasted New York
so it
seasons.
doesn't necessarily have to be upstate. Just like it was a great year, just a phenomenal year. And not just winning a championship, but just being such a disappointment in the postseason and not living up to the expectations you had based on that season kind of just ruins it for you, even though a lot of great things happened in that year locally. So what is the top 5 that I have on this list today?
I'm going to go first because I won't know any, and I'm scared
Why do you say you
Michael
will
will take it.
You've lived in this market. You know sports like no other.
No, the second part.
I'm going to go. I'm going to go with last year's New York Yankees.
I didn't have it,
Of course,
because
I had it.
No. I already have it written down. You think I'm just doing this off the top of my head? Just
I think
picking
you're
and
out to get
choosing
me.
here?
Yep, that's right.
No, you think about it, right? 103 wins.
Sure.
But at the end of the day, you won a round and you lost to the team that was better than you in the regular season, obviously cheating notwithstanding. So, yeah, it's disappointing for sure, but you ended up losing to a team that had a better record than you. So, can't really say that it went against the grain, but you could be disappointed.
It was still wildly disappointing.
How about the 2003 Yankees?
Thought about that as well, but you went to the World Series, right?
No.
I
Forgive
You
me.
mean 2004?
2004, I'm sorry.
2004, Michael. And again, I think this is like the 5th consecutive day in which you guessed number 1.
Wow.
Because here's the thing, they did win a round, right? And it wasn't, they were 101 and 61. They've had better regular seasons. And you can make the case that maybe the 02 was more disappointing because they actually had the best record in baseball and got knocked out in 4 games to the Angels in the best-of-5 series in the first round. That was a huge disappointment. But, Michael, think about the expectations of 04. That offseason, you acquire Alex Rodriguez, right? And you got Matsui, and you got a great team. You won 101 games. And not only do you the only team in the history of baseball to blow a 3-0 series lead, think of what would have happened had you had beaten the Red Sox. I think you would have taken care of the Cardinals. Maybe that changes everything for Alex, right? Takes the pressure off him. He has a better 05, 06, 07. You know, who knows how that could have opened the door to being the many championships people had thought. So, yeah, I can't imagine any Yankee fan valuing anything about the 2004 season the way that ended, right?
Would you like me to take over from here, Peter?
I didn't say take over, but you can go again, sure.
No, you go ahead. Go. I'd say the 1988 Mets, Don.
Yeah,
that's a good one.
I've got that at number 2.
There you go.
Because,
good.
Beautiful.
You know,
that was
we
well
talked
done.
about this during the upsets because, again, they had beaten them 10 out of 11 times during the regular year, had 6 more wins during the regular season, 100-win season for the Mets. And the way it ended with the Socia home run, it was just such a disappointing end. And that was a phenomenal season, Michael. There were so many great years. Strawberry had an amazing year, probably should have won the MVP. And I can't look back fondly at that because that team should have at least went to the World Series. Very, very disappointing a year. And they never really got it back, right? 89, 90, second-place finishes, not making the postseason. It was really their last run of what should have been a bunch of opportunities to win a championship. So I've got that at number 2.
I'm having a tough time coming up with a football one.
We had discussed it before.
A football one.
Would you consider
Football.
the flipper season with the Giants?
I've got that at 3.
Michael's going in order right now. Never seen this before.
1989.
So good.
We talked about this with the upsets as well. Now, many people could say, well, what about the 2008 Giants? They were 12-4. They lost a home game to Philadelphia. But after Plexico Burress shot himself, Michael, it kind of changed, at least for me, the feel of that season.
Yep.
Where that Giant team, I really felt like all along, even though San Francisco ended up having a better record during the year, I really felt like that team was poised for a championship run after the disappointing miss of the playoffs in '88. and to go 12-4, be a 2 seed, and not even win your home game in the divisional round, I've got that at number 3.
Now, I'm not sure of the date of this, Don, but recently, didn't the Rangers win the President's Cup and then get knocked out?
It's called the Trophy.
President's Trophy, sorry.
Make the mistake. Yeah, that was disappointing, but I went to another Ranger season for a top 5.
Interesting.
How about, and I admit that I'm looking up the year to get the year that they had this record. How about the 92-93 Knicks?
I didn't go
60-win season.
60-win season, but look who they lost to.
Yeah.
Right?
But still, it's losing in the conference finals, not making a final after first in the conference, 60 wins overall.
But I will tell you, since I don't think you'll get this one, maybe Michael would, I think more disappointing was the 94-95 Knicks. I've got that at 4. All right? They won 55 games, Peter, but that was the second best record in the East. And this was year 2 without Jordan. At least they went to the final the year before losing to Houston. This team, I think, had a shot. Only Orlando was better, but they didn't even get a chance to play the Magic. They lost to the Pacers in the second round in 7 games, Michael. And you remember the big Ewing prediction. He missed his last 6 shots of Game 6, eventually lost in Game 7. That one, I think, stings more because you didn't lose to a better team, and that team should have at least gotten to the conference final against Orlando, if not followed up what they had done the previous season. Should have gotten a second chance at Houston and didn't.
Now, I don't know how you'll go with this, so it's going to be one of 2. Let me throw a Jet season your way. Either when Testaverde got hurt, but that was at the beginning of the year, so you can't say the whole year. How about the year before when they were leading going into the second half against the Broncos?
Yeah, I considered it because that was a great team, but they lost to a better team in Denver. Now, you're right. In that game, they had a 10-0 lead at the half. But I don't know if you walk away from that season like not even wanting to remember it again, because I still think a lot of Jet fans value that. It's a trip to the championship game, and you lost to a better team on the road, even though you did have the lead at the half. You could say the same thing about the championship game in 2009, where they had a lead at the half in Indianapolis, too.
Yep.
But I don't know if anybody thought at 9-7 that team was going to go to the Super Bowl, but certainly they were disappointed at that. That 98 team was better than the 2009 team. I'll give you 5. Go ahead. 2019
Red Bulls, very disappointing ending.
I would talk to Andrew about it, but I don't know.
Well, hey there.
Number 5, because you brought up the Rangers winning the President's Trophy and losing to Tampa in the conference final. They won the President's Trophy in 91-92. The reason why this year is significant, Michael, is this was the first year with Mark Messier.
You sure it's not the President's Cup?
No, it's not. It's the trophy. And just you getting it wrong every time you say it is not going to change it.
Why are you being nasty when I'm trying to have fun, you big goon?
I'm not trying to have fun?
No. Trying to make fun of me.
I see how it works.
Glad this
the
is
91-92 team. Messier's first year with the Rangers. He wins the Hart Trophy for the league MVP. They have a 50-win season. And they lose to Pittsburgh in the second round in crippling fashion. They lose Game 4. They're up 2-1 in the series. They blow a third-period lead, giving up 2 goals in a minute and 12 seconds. One of those goals from Ron Francis at the red line. And they end up losing that series. And that was a team that was really good. That made up for it 2 years later by winning the President's Trophy and the Stanley Cup. But to be a 50-win team and not get past Pittsburgh in the second round, after going 7 with the Devils in the first round, I've got them at number 5.
It's not the Stanley Trophy?
No, not for a while.
So we have 5, or are we still losing 4?
That's it.
I'm sorry that you were not entertained today. You didn't even keep pace.
No, I was. I gave you the top 3, Don.
You did.
Peter totally disengaged, and I get.
I didn't disengage. I just failed.
That's
Don. Was I disengaged or a failure?
Well, kind of both. In the sense that your disengagement led to your failure.
No, that's not it.
Rangers 91-92, number 5. Knicks 94-95, 4. Giants 89-3. Mets 88-2. Yankees 04, number 1.
I think
now you would put that over the 02 Yankees, right? Because that was rough. 103 wins and they bowed out. I think they lost 3 straight in that series, right? They won Game 1 and lost 3 straight to the Yankees, right?
Nothing compares to 04 ever.
Yeah, but 04 is just. And that's where I was always talking about that catch that Jeter made diving into the stands happened during the regular season in '04. Can't imagine any Yankee fan valuing anything from that season. That's something that should be extracted from their memory.